Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Lex, and today we have more World Cup of Pokemon coverage. This time it is me versus Antonazz, a former official Smogon tournament finalist who lost to Storm Zone 2-0 in the finals. He is mostly known as kind of like a Gliscor, Spike Spam, Zamazenta kind of guy, so I kind of tailored my team around this specifically. We have some very interesting sets today that I think you guys will find pretty cool. The first one being this demonic Dragonite set I have. Uh, it's a Rocky Helmet, Encore, Ice Beam, Roost, and Thunder Wave. And basically, how I'm using it is as like the only Wogerpon counter in the game. And it's also one of the only King Gambit counters in the game. Because you can Encore them to Swords Dance, or if they try to Katal you, it's going to bounce off with a bunch of defensive investment. So countering some of the two biggest threats like Wogerpon and King Gambit is a really big deal and kind of how I built this team around. I also have my trusty Hatterene. You gotta pull up with that, especially if you're running a Rocks weak Pokemon like Dragonite without boots. You definitely need something like Magic Bounce in order to set those hazards back and just threaten the presence of having hazards up on your side in the first place. I also have Dragapult as a speed control slash ghost type to block spins because as you can see I also have a Samurott on my team. Samurott is really annoying with the spikes that it gets up. So having a ghost type on your team when you have a Samurott or any other Sparker like Skarmory or Tinglu for example is really essential to not let free rapid spins happen because if I had this team and there was just no Dragapult, instead it was like, I don't know, like Raging Bolt or Wogerpon or something like that. Every time Great Tusk is in versus Iron Treads or Dragonite or something like that, it just gets the freest rapid spin off and you just can't let that happen when your goal is to pressure with spikes. On his side, he has a very interesting offense. It looks like a booster spam offense, like I would guess Booster's Crown, Booster Valiant, and then some kind of Dragon Dance D-Knight. Looking at his team, I wouldn't expect Dice on this team because he doesn't have hazard control outside of like Taunt with Wogerpon or Valiant or Lando. So keeping rocks off is not the most reliable, so I expected like a Boots, maybe even Terra Fairy Blast on this team, Terra Ghost Blast. Zamazenta I kind of figured would be either Iron Defense Rest or some kind of 4 attack set. Wogerpon, your typical stuff, maybe U-Turn, maybe Swords Dance on this team. And then because his team is mostly physical attackers, I expected Iron Valiant to be a special attacker. So jumping right into it, I lead Dragapult because it's a really good lead into a lot of his things like Wogerpon, like Landers, even something like Crown or D-Knight is really good lead into it. And basically how I chose my lead in this matchup is, if I look at his team, like I want to be the best into Wogerpon lead. Like I don't want to lead Samurott into Wogerpon. I don't even want to lead Samurott into Landers really, to be honest. I want to keep Samurott in the back because I'm able to live a hit from +1 Focus Blast Iron Crown with my Assault Vest. So that was really important. So turn 1, I know he's not clicking Rocks in the Hat. So I get my Wisp off, threatening him with the Hex. This second turn I would actually say is a pretty big misplay. Because in his mind, like, oh, there's 0 chance I'm going to get Rocks up versus a Hat while burned, revealing Earthquake instead of Earth Power. So I'm always going to U-turn here to get the free setup, something switching into Dragapult. So that was actually a pretty bad play from my end. I just respected the Rocks click there too hard, and it ended up biting me. Here, he makes a nice double Ogerpon onto my Samurott. And then here's where I reveal my demonic Dragonite set with the Rocky Helm. He actually reveals that he's Taunt, so I'm not able to get the Roost off. The reason I click Roost is because seeing a Dragonite take a helmet like that, if you're play rough on Ogerpon, that's still not even a bad click for you to just go for it, right? Like, you're able to 2-hit KO Dragonite pretty much no matter what with the water mask boost with the 1.2 times power, so I didn't think that would be a concern for him at all. But my only attack is Ice Beam, and I did expect him to switch Landers in here. Probably expecting me to be like an Earthquake Dragon Tail set instead. He makes a nice play on my Hat. Goes for Heavy Slam here. And here's where stuff gets crazy. I switched Dragonite in on Heavy Slam. So Zamazenta and Dragonite, very small difference in weight. That Heavy Slam is like 20 power, maybe 40 power, something like that. He clicks Ice Fang 4 times super effective into my Dragonite, and I take 61% from that, which is insane. And now I'm able to roost it off because I T-waved him, and I'm always going to be faster than Zamazenta for now. So now Zamazenta's completely nullified. It was actually kind of a big threat with Heavy Slam. Like, if he Ice Fanged the hat after clicking Heavy Slam, it could have been tough. And here's my second misplay of the game, and I think my last. Polk got crit twice, by the way. RIP mans. But he makes a nice play here. I respect Taunt, and I think that if I click Thunder Wave on Taunt or something like that, he would basically be able to claim a kill for free. So I try to get ahead of that by bringing in Dragapult, and obviously that bites me back. I think I probably should have just sacked my hat at this point. It's 28%. It's not going to do anything. Here he goes Crown. I think just to sack it. Yep. I click Close Combat in case he tries to go Valiant on a crunch and I want the extra damage on it. Here he goes Dina, and I revealed that I'm actually Ice Fang Zamazenta, which is a great matchup into him. I intend to go hat here to sack it, but he actually reveals that he's Scale Shot Fire Punch. And Scale Shot Fire Punch is a threat most of the time. Like, if you look at the remaining team I have, like, it kind of does a lot. But not when you have Terra Steel on your defensive, about to reveal Encore Dragonite. So I take all those Scale Shots. He gets 5 hits because he's loaded dice. Again, a set I didn't actually expect to be on this team because he doesn't have a way to prevent hazards. But now, him being Encored into this, Encore lasts for 3 turns. He has to repeat the same move. So I'm able to roost off twice after 2 Scale Shots. Try to get as much HP as I want. And then on the last one, he's going to break free from his Encore after this attack. So I have to click and then move here. So I click Ice Beam just to knock it out. This leads him to bring in his Ogerpon, and I think he's going for a Terra here because there's no other way for him to kill Dragonite. So he does go for that, and I make the nice play of going to Samurott because I want this Sucker Punch chip in order for my Zamazenta to be in the range of this. Now Zamazenta gets the Close Combat off. Brings in Valiant, and from turn 1, basically, I knew in my mind, I was like, this has to be Calm Mind Valiant. Like, I'm not going to respect a Swords Dance. Or it's going to be like some, like, Destiny Bond Encore Valiant or something like that. But I expected Calm Mind. I don't know. I just knew somehow, even though he does have a Crown, another special attacker. Just kind of anticipated that. And I go to my Spadef Treads, which easily takes the hit. Unfortunately, he does get the drop, which makes the endgame a little bit dicey. Like, I could definitely get haxed out if I miss the roll here, or if my D-Knight gets crit, or like, as you can see, Thunderbolt paired. But luckily that doesn't happen. I'm able to clean up the Valiant. Ogerpon comes in, has no speed boosting moves, so Zamazenta is guaranteed a win here. But yeah, as you can see, this crazy D-Knight set, I don't even know like how I ended up with this set. I think in a tournament like a couple years ago, a teammate of mine for some smaller tournament, I think Jambad's Academy Premier League tournament, I saw someone post a pace with this, and I was like, this is the coolest set ever. Like, it's the only King Gambit counter in the game, and now it's the only Wogerpon counter in the game. So I thought that was really awesome, and I just kind of decided like, this is something I really want to try building around. But as you can see, this team has a lot of holes. Like, it's really weak to opposing Samurott. Like, Hatterene is not the most consistent hazard preventer, and you really need Stealth Rocks off for this Dragonite set to work. But yeah, that's it. You guys got to see a really cool tech come out and put in a ton of work, encoring, thunder waving, beaming, everything. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you for the next videos. Peace.